What's up? How's it going, YouTube? This is To the Moon. You've got your host, Jamil Damji from Astroflipping here. And today's episode is a doozy. I can't wait for you to hear it. So, guys, we've got Austin Bozek. For those of you that aren't familiar with Austin, Austin is an incredible member of the Astroflipping family. Not only is he one of the more successful students that we have, Austin has raised up in the ranks and went from just, doing deals to being a part of my team at Astroflipping. So he is the community manager. He is my right-hand man. He is the guy who helps me, helps other students. He is the go-giver that a lot of folks actually call, rely on, and reach out to when I'm not available. And so I am very, very happy for this episode because we get to talk about Austin, his success, and what got him to this point. Austin, how are you, bro?
I'm amazing, Jamil. How are you?
I'm so good, dude. It is an honor for me to be able to sit here and talk to you and talk about your journey that got you to this point. But I want to rewind because a lot of people that are watching this, if they're a part of Astroflipping, they're very familiar with you. If they're not a part of Astroflipping, then they're just going to get to meet you. But for those of you that don't know Austin, let's rewind a little bit. So bring us to the beginning, Austin. How did you even come to find Astroflipping, and how are you and I so dang close now? What happened?
Well, Jamil, it's an incredible story, to be honest with you. I don't think I've ever actually gone all the way in depth with it with you, but
you haven't. And so I'm listening intently.
Yes, I'm excited to tell you. So how it started is I told you, I started out with another wholesale education company. Didn't work out. It was a mentorship, but there was no mentoring.
Okay, so let's walk through that, right? Because a lot of people are going through a similar situation. The thing is that when you want to learn a new skill, you got to go out there and figure out who's good at it and who can teach you, right? So I don't want to name names because I'm not here to trash anybody or any company. It's not our job to do that. People do your own due diligence when you're out there looking for a mentorship or a mentor. But tell me a little bit about what that process was. How did you find them? Was there, a specific person, or how did you get targeted? What was that all about?
Yeah, so the way it happened was when I was first, getting interested in real estate and everything, I started looking into the big real estate gurus and all that stuff like that. And I found Dean. And so there was this thing, he's got his book, like, I actually forget what the name of it is now, but it was a thing where it's like, attend this free seminar, get his book for free. So I went and I attended, and the seminar ended up not being about the book at all. It was about wholesaling. And it was,
cool. Okay.
it was a sales pitch to get me, into this mentorship.
Okay.
And so from there, I was pretty intrigued, I can just sell these pieces of paper and make $10,000. Why would I not want to do that,
Right.
And so, and this was like, it was kind of like in the beginning ish stages of COVID. And so it was even that much more intriguing because it was like, I don't know what's going to happen. So, I can go this route. And so I signed up for the course, and then from there was like a training program thing. And then with that, you never got like a course or anything. There were just supposed to be live calls like every week, kind of like we do. So I signed up.
There wasn't a training associated, or there was no curriculum or anything to go through.
It was just like this 3-day like in-person thing where they took us out to a couple properties. And they were teaching us obviously like real wholesaling, like go to the property and negotiate with the seller, see what situation the property's in, all these things.
Yeah. The old school ways. Yep. Cool. Makes sense.
Yeah. So it was a 3-day thing of that. And then from there, it was just live calls every week. Well, I started going to these live calls because I didn't get, I only got so much out of a 3-day event. And then you're gone. So I start going to these live calls, and the mentor that I was assigned to, he didn't even like do real estate. And so it's just me and like about 25 other people in these Zoom calls where we're asking questions. And he's like, oh, I don't know. I would reach out to this person, or I would do this, but I'm not really sure. Like, literally just didn't really know. And so I'm like, well, that's great. But I was still intrigued by, the idea of wholesaling. And so I didn't give up. I was trying for, I don't know, like maybe a couple months. And I was like, this is not it. Because now COVID's really hitting, and now I can't even go out to properties anymore. I had gotten some leeway, like going out, meeting sellers and things like that. But now it was like lockdown. And I'm like, now what do I do?
Right.
So I start, looking into other things. I think realistically, the way I came to Astroflipping was by looking at Connected Investors. And so I went to Connected Investors, and I was going to sign up for this like comprehensive training, along with like some sort of system that's supposed to find the deals for you and all this stuff, and almost like a virtual wholesaling, And then I came to Astro, and I was like, this seems way better. So I just ended up, signing up for Astro pretty quickly. It wasn't like a long sale or anything. I just signed up. I was like, I think this is the way to go. And then did it for a while. And then like a while, meaning like a few months. And then
how long
out
until
of nowhere,
your first deal? How long until you got your first deal done?
My first deal with Astro, it took me, I want to say like 112 days or something like that. So
that's
a little over 3 months.
Little over average, right? That's our average. For us, it takes on average about 90 days for the average student to come in and get a deal. So you were a little bit over that, which is totally normal and awesome, right? So you got your first deal. Walk us through that first deal. What was it?
So I'm from Northeast Ohio. So at this time I'm in Northeast Ohio, and I'm in like a remote area. So what I had done was, there was another guy, he was in Akron as well. He's also an Astro flipper. I was working in the community, and he brought me a deal. And I actually had gone to a meetup, which meetups out there is like 8 people. It's not like the meetups out here where we have hundreds of people. It was like 8 people. And so I actually found a buyer who buys buy and holds in Akron, Ohio. And that's where this deal was. So I sent it to him. It's like, hey, do you think you would be interested in this? He said yes. So I ended up wholesaling that to him. Me and that other Astro flipper, we both made like $2,000 on it. So nothing crazy, but either way, it was my first deal, and I was like, wow, this
incredible. It's proof of concept for a lot of people. And, I've been toying with this concept of first deal because it's like this elusive thing that people are trying to catch all the time. It's like, if I could just get my first deal, And, we get a lot of students that come in that haven't gotten their first deal, and they come to Astro and they get their first deal done. And that's amazing. And the thing, though, that I have really come to terms with is that I don't believe your first deal is an actual contract deal where you sell something. I think your first deal is a deal you make with yourself. I think it's a deal that you make with yourself, with respect to what kind of time you're going to put into this business, the kind of consistency you're going to show, that you're going to show up every single day and do the work. This just doesn't happen overnight. This doesn't just happen without your participation. And so how much work did you put into getting that first $2,000 check? I mean, I want to be real about this for people. What did it take you to do that?
Yeah, to be fully honest, it took me that long, but at the same time, I was working about 10 hours a day. So I would come home from work, get home at like 6 o'clock, and then I would legit work until like 11, and then go back to work. So about 5 hours a day. And then about
5 hours
2 months
on the real estate.
Yeah, correct. Okay. And then about 2 months into that, I was like, you know what? I don't really want to work this job anymore. And I had enough saved up at the time that I quit my job. And then for that last, little over a month, I was doing it full time. So it was like 8 hours a day at that point, if not more, for like that last month. So like I was putting in the work for sure. So yeah, you
Awesome.
definitely have to put in the work. You have to put in those hours to at least start out, or it's not gonna happen.
100%. And so like, when did it start getting consistent for you? How has it been looking? And like, what are you kind of looking at as a business today?
Yeah. So it started getting consistent when I moved out here. And that was like, that's the next part of the story is, I did the Astro flipping, and then my friend had lived out here for a year and he was back in town. He's like, hey, I'm signing a new lease in like 10 days. You should move out there. That's where they're at. I was like, okay. It took me like 5 minutes to make that decision. And in my head, it's so insane to see, like, you talk about manifesting all the time. You talk about like creating your reality, speaking your reality, all of these things. When before I left, like my mom and I are like this, and she sobbed when I told her this because it was like, I'm leaving like this. She was not ready for it. She did not expect it. There was, when whoever asked me like, why are you doing this, like you're just gonna leave like out of nowhere, like pack up your stuff and leave, I said to everybody the same exact thing. My goal is to go out to Phoenix, to get in tight with Astro flipping, to get in tight with Keegley, to get in tight with Jamil and Josiah. And everybody looked at me like I was like stupid, and honestly in the back of my mind I'm like, that's not gonna happen, like that, like it was something I was telling myself and telling other people because that's what I wanted. But I'm like, right, yeah, you're actually going to get in with Astro flipping and all the Keegley people. And like out of all these students and all the people in the world, it's going to be you, I come out here and within 6 months I work for Astro flipping.
Within 6 months, you have a job at Astroflipping. You're still wholesaling houses at the same time. So you're not, it's not that you just have a job now at Astro, you're wholesaling and you are employed with Astro too. So it's twofold, right? Like this is insane. It's great.
Yeah, I came out here for that purpose. And I told them, like, I want to meet all these people. I want to be tight with these people and get to know these people because, like, this is what I want to do. Like, I want to be a real estate professional. I want to do this for the rest of my life. And this is the way that I think it's going to happen. And if I'm wrong, I'm sure I'll find something else, but I'm going to take the chance. And the stars aligned.
Stars aligned. And Austin, you've been such a blessing. You've been such a blessing to the community. So many people have gotten help from you. So many people have been a part of your knowledge for their deal or maybe done a deal with you. So what does it look like for you today? Like you've got a full-time job at Astro Flipping. You're also doing deals. Have the deals gone to the side a little bit? Are you more focused on students now and your job at Astro, or is it a little bit of both? What does it look like for you now with your responsibilities as a very, very integral part of the community as well as an investor?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So what it looks like now is I'm still actively doing deals. Guys, send me your deals. Still actively doing deals, still actively seeking out the deals, getting to know more buyers, getting to know more agents, like everything everybody that's watching this video is doing out there. I'm doing the same thing. And, I have like, with as much experience and being in the calls with you, constantly talking to you all the time, like I know what's going on for the most part. I know how to do this stuff. Like it's pretty second nature at this point, but I've kind of put it to the side. I still do it, but I'm focused on the member success currently. It's such an important thing to me, and I think it stems from the fact that I did that course and I wasted my money, and it was like, this guy knows nothing about what he's talking about, and I'm going to fail because of it. And so, I don't want Astro to be another that course. I want people to come here and be like, it's not just Jamil. Like they have plenty of people around there that know their stuff and are helping me do deals. And so it's like, I want to give back to the community because I was the community and still am, at one point.
So guys, we bleeped out the name of the person that Austin said, and I only have my team bleep it because, again, for just being in the community, and I don't want to throw shade on people. I do know who you're talking about, Austin. I actually have heard the same negative response about the material and about what they got. So what do you tell somebody? What do you tell somebody who's out there looking, right? What do you tell somebody who's out there looking for a mentor, who's out there trying to learn this business? What do you guide them? And I don't want this to be a pitch for just come to Jamil. Like, what are the qualities? What are the things? What are the red flags? Like, how can somebody, even if it's not real estate, if they're looking at e-com or they're looking at something where they're going to learn how to do a skill, what things should they pay attention to when they're seeking out who they should work with?
Yeah, that's a great question. Intentions, like straight up intentions, like I still don't even know who the owner, the CEO, whoever it was of that company was. You're on calls with people 8 hours a week, at least, And so like you have the intention of the people who join your course have success. The people who join your course, they go on. I mean, we've seen it. Like they go on to make a lot of money really fast and have the lives that they've always wanted. Like Brittany Berryman building the house she's always wanted because of this course. And she has still to this day has not even been in the course for an entire year. Like
right.
It's literally life-changing stuff. And so it's just a matter of like, if you don't know who that mentor actually is, then don't sign up for the course. If you don't know that that mentor is like a genuine, like real human being who cares about you, and it's hard to know that beforehand, but you can tell, like, there's certain people that you can tell, like, this guy cares about himself. And then there's certain
like don't get sold, right? Like don't get sold. Don't hop on a phone and get sold to somebody who you don't know, who you haven't dated. And I tell this to people all the time. I get DMs from people, hey, should I buy your course? And I say, no, don't buy my course. I tell them, don't buy my course. Go to my YouTube channel and watch all my videos and go into my Instagram and watch my stuff. Do my free challenges. Go learn how to do as much as I can teach you how to do before you decide to write a check or, swipe your card and become a part of our community, because I want you to know who you're messing with. I want you to know what this is about. This is not a free ride. This is not you coming into some scam. This is not you coming into something that I'm going to tell you is going to happen overnight without you having to do work. Set it and forget it. Buy this software and it'll do the work for you. Fuck that shit. That's all a lie. Okay, that's what people sell you. That's what people try to give you as a way to entice you into giving them your money. And then what ends up happening is you get nothing for it. And that's what pisses me off. I didn't build the nation's #1 wholesale operation and then become a coach because of anything other than wanting to solve that problem, right? I didn't need to be a coach because I was already making money hand over fist in my real estate business. A lot of people didn't make money in their real estate business, and then they decided to become a coach. And you guys hear that often. Those who can't do, teach. And that's not what you get here when you're working with us. And there's a lot of genuine people out there. So even if it's not Jamil, even if it's not Astro, there's all kinds of genuine real people who can show you the way of what you're trying to do. Just spend enough time doing the research, right? So tell us, Austin, what has been one of the most gratifying things for you as a person who is a leader in our community?
Good question. I would say, I mean, just people reaching out all the time. Thank you so much for your help. Thank you so much. I did this deal because of what you told me. I reached out to the right person because of what you told me. I'm hitting my KPIs now because of what you told me. Just like knowing that the right things are getting to the right people and they're doing the right things with it, and money is coming to them because of it, and happiness and like just what they want out of life is coming out of what I can give to them is just insanely gratifying.
What's been your biggest deal? What's your biggest deal?
My biggest deal is actually the one I was talking to you, my brother's land deal. So last year when I had wholesaled it to him, it was me and another Astro member who had gotten it locked up. The overall assignment on that was like $78,000.
Oh, did you guys split that?
No, we didn't split it. Not quite split, but I made a good chunk of it. You know, he made more since he did the acquisition, but I got a good amount out of it. And now I'm at the point where my brother actually wants to sell it. So if anybody needs land in, what is it, Venice, Florida, I have you covered. You know,
awesome, amazing.
Yeah.
You know, Austin, it's always just incredibly humbling opportunity for me to talk to not only students, but people that are a part of the organization that help us put this together, that put their lives out there for others to gain from, to learn from, and to emulate and to be a part of. And so it means so much to me that you're not only a person on this episode, but that you are just so willing to help, so willing to be there and available to people day after day. And so how can people get a hold of you if they've got questions about deals that they want to do, if they've got opportunities for you, if they want to buy your brother's land in Venice? How do people find Austin Bozek?
For sure. Yeah. If you're a part of the community already, you can just email me at austinb, as in boy, at astroflipping.com. If you are not, or if these are questions like you just need answered, then email me there. If you're sending me deals, if you want to work with me, if you want to form some sort of relationship, add me on Instagram. I don't use Instagram, so you're going to see it and you're going to be like, why is he having me add him? I'm going to start using it, and I want people to only follow me there. If you want to do deals, if you want to get to know me, follow me on Instagram, and it's just my name right there, Austin Bozek. Just search that and follow me, and let's do some deals.
Guys, give Austin a follow on his IG. Also, blow up his email. Do deals with him, learn from him, be a part of Austin's orbit, because he is a planet on his own. This man is another one who is hanging out on the moon. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to another episode of To the Moon. Austin, you're an inspiring guy. We love you so much. God bless you. Till the next one, guys. We'll see you then.
Love you, Jamil.